Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. Finally, it has been a long hiatus. Keep reaching for the phone. I have a new setup, perfectly aligned to my likings. I got lights so you can see my beautiful face, pimples and all. But I am back after a very long hiatus. I had planned on live streaming one of my drafts, but I don't have the perfect tech setup, so it screwed up after the first round. I actually auto-picked one of my players, was very, very upset about it. Second round pick got auto-picked. What can you do? So I had to scrap that, but here I am now because NFL football starts today, tonight. Eagles, Falcons, Eagles at home. Falcons are gonna win. Falcons are gonna win, he whispered. Who heard? Oh yeah, there's nobody here. Falcons, I believe we're going to win. Nick Foles has looked bad in the preseason. It's just a preseason, but still. I think the Falcons are a better team. Even though the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, beating the Falcons along the way. Week 1, it's going to be at Philadelphia. And I'm still picking them to lose? What an idiot. Get off of this channel. Dislike, unsubscribe, my 5 subscribers. But that being said, I do think the Falcons will win. I think Matt Ryan will have a decent game. Julio Jones will have a good game. Devonta Freeman should have an okay game. Tevin Coleman, I don't really care about Tevin Coleman. He's just eating into Devonta Freeman's value, in my opinion. But I really don't think the Eagles have much by way of offense. Alshon Jeffrey is going to be out. Like already stated, Nick Foles. Not really the biggest believer in Jay Ajayi because of his scrubby knees. I do think Zach Ertz will have a good game because Nick Foles scratching my butt. What on YouTube? Who does that? Zach Ertz will have a big game, I do believe. Probably 80 yards and a touchdown. Off of 100 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown. Now, anyways, the main focus of today's video is to look at my teams. Duh, it's my fucking channel. But so you can see what I am actually going to do, not all of these. I watched lots of videos. Who would you start? This guy or this guy? Maybe this guy. I don't know. They say it, but you never really feel convinced that that's what they're going to do. So what I'm going to do is show you exactly what I'm going to do. Bad news is, a lot of my subscribers, a lot of people that I'm going against will see this video. But hey, it's out of my control. All I can do is start the best team that I think and then hope for the best. Great news is, I am projected to win both of my games. And I'm only doing 2. I'm in 4 leagues. 5 technically. One's disgustingly that I don't want to talk about. It's a free league I joined by accident. Auto-picked the entire team. I'm going to put Flea Flicker on blast right now. I auto-picked and somehow ended up with 5 people who are not even on teams. Why are there 5 free agents ranked so highly that they're fucking auto-picked? I don't know. I can right now pick up Peyton Manning, Tony Gonzalez, these people who are retired and have been retired for years. I'm sure I could pick up Brett Favre, my favorite player of all time, Brett Favre. Dick pic. But I don't understand why that's a thing. Why is that a thing? I don't know. So I was going to chronicle that league and go from auto pick to glory, but it has turned really nasty. It's a free league, but there's such shade going on right now. Anyways. That's a video that's never going to happen, so I don't want to talk about it. So, I'm going to flirt with doing some transitions, so foreshadowing. There may be some sexy transitions with my eyeballs. Okay, not my eyeballs, but here we go. So the first league that I'm in, that I chronicled a grand majority of the picks, my whole draft, basically, I am projected to have 115.9 points. My opponent is, team name is Yes Sir Believe That. They are projected currently, that may change if he changes his or her lineup. I don't know, we'll see. But currently, as of this video on September the 6th, 2:02 p.m., he is projected to score 112.2 points. Pepsi, not a sponsor, but tasty. All right, so let's look at my team. I should have done this before, but I'm pretty confident that these are going to be everyone I start. The only change may be Josh Gordon. Is there a way that I can show bench? No. So I'm going to go to my team real quick, because I want the most accurate, at least on my end, what I can control. Ooh, man. No, yeah, I can't do that. It's at Minnesota. Yeah, the only change may be, and it would be very unlikely, is I may take out Josh Gordon and insert Marquise Goodwin, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely. So, without further ado, let me get his or her name out of the picture. And let's see. Alright, hopefully, maybe that was a bad idea, I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully that all comes into focus and my hand is not too shaky. So obviously I have the advantage at quarterback because Andrew Luck is a beast. I don't believe that they're going to be able to run against Cincinnati, especially since they have no offensive line. And Marlon Mack is probably not going to play. So I believe it will squarely be on Andrew Luck's bum shoulder. Kirk Cousins, he's good. They're playing San Francisco at home. He may have 250, 2 touchdowns, but I think Andrew Luck will probably have 3 touchdowns. If they have any hope of of winning the game at all. Then we've got Saquon Barkley at Jacksonville. Actually, it's not at Jacksonville, but playing Jacksonville at home. Jacksonville's one weakness last year, and they kind of fixed it up towards the end of the year, but they were susceptible to the run. So hopefully, he does well, because it is the first game of the preseason of the regular season. Tackling is still a bit of an issue because the starters have not had much time to perfect that. So maybe he can break some. And then Todd Gurley at Oakland. Todd Gurley's Todd fucking Gurley. He's the beast. So I'm just hoping for a bit of a wash there, even though he is projected to score 4 more points than my guy. But then we have Joe Mixon at Indy. So those guys will be going against each other. I do believe, though, Joe Mixon will have a good game, even though the preseason has not gone well for Joe Mixon after the first week. Cordy Glenn will be back in the lineup, so that's going to be great. And then I guess you can look at my pretty face now. No need to have that up the entire time. You can pause the video or go back to it at any time. But Cordy Glenn is going to be back in the starting lineup, and I don't even think the Colts have a defensive line. I don't think so. I think they outsource to high school teams in Indianapolis for their defensive line, and then it just is how it goes. Pretty sure. Quote me on that. And then I've got Amari Cooper. He's got Devontae Adams. It's pretty much a wash. I'm not convinced Devontae Adams is a full-fledged number 1 wide receiver, but he is their number 1 wide receiver, and they have Aaron Rodgers, and you know how I feel about him. Aaron Rodgers. And Amari Cooper, he is supposed to be the focal point of the offense. They're going to have to score a lot of points to keep up with the Rams because they don't have much of a defense anymore. That Khalil Mack is gone. So the Rams, I believe, will score a lot of points. So that's that. Then I have Fitz, and he has Mike Evans. Fitz has gotten the edge because it's PPR, really mainly. He will almost 100% have more catches than Mike Evans. And then my tight end, Jimmy Graham. I have always hated Jimmy Graham. I'm not going to lie. Because he was always good in the Saints. And then he was really a nothing burger last year. But I'm on board. Nothing like an old tight end, Antonio Gates. Nothing like an old tight end to wet your whistle. And he has David Njoku. Now we're going to edit that out. It's not going to happen. My upset of the week is, foreshadowing, spoiler alert, the Cleveland Browns, I believe, will beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I don't think it's going to be on the back of David Njoku. So I feel really good that my Jimmy Graham will outperform his David Njoku. And then the flexes. So my flexes are Josh Gordon and the never aforementioned, maybe in a previous video, Jamal Williams. I think Jamal Williams is going to have a good game against Chicago. And then he has Marvin Jones Jr. and Robbie Anderson. I don't think Robbie Anderson is going to have a good year with Sam Darnold. Because his glory was with McCown. Here you go, Joshy. Robbie, here you go. Catch it. And Robbie's like, all right, I got you. Just don't get hurt. He got hurt. So again, I am the favorite by 3.7 points. We'll see what happens. And then my family league, which is, if you've been listening in any of my other videos, this league is not how I prefer to draft. It is so... I had one goal with this league. One goal. And that was to get Christian McCaffrey. And the fantasy gods put their pee-pee in my pee-pee and said, nope, we're going to freeze your Galaxy book and you're going to auto-pick your second-round pick. So instead of getting freaking Christian McCaffrey, which was all slotted up, I somehow auto-picked Keenan Allen. So I masterfully went wide receiver, which I have never done in the history of Tim Treadway drafts. Auto fucking pick. But here's my team compared to their team. This one, I'm projected to win 108 to 102, and that individual got my Christian McCaffrey. I'm not gonna lie, I joined my fourth league is a Yahoo public league, $20 buy-in. I literally, don't tell Joe Quillen, I literally joined that league just so I could get Christian McCaffrey, and I did. So I have Christian McCaffrey in one league. All right, so Marcus Mariota, he was my dart throw at quarterback. I was really torn between Mariota and going with the waiver wire Tyrod Taylor because he is on the waiver wire. The only reason I am sticking with Mariota is because he's playing Miami. I don't know if you guys know anything about football down in Florida. Miami is not good. But that may only be good for Derrick Henry and Deion Lewis, mainly Derrick Henry. But I do believe he will at least get some rushing yards. So I may even still change that out in the future. I don't know. May depend on how Julio Jones does tonight. We'll see. And then I have my first running back off the board was in the third round with Jordan Howard. I freaking love Jordan Howard. But I am concerned. He's never had a 100-yard rushing game against my Green Bay Packers, and they play Green Bay. So, not overly optimistic. I do believe his Christian McCaffrey will outperform my Jordan Howard. But I kind of think everything else is in my favor. I think Royce Freeman will outproduce Paul. Antonio Brown, I do believe, will outproduce Julio Jones, especially if I don't want to play football anymore unless I get paid the most in the fucking world, Le'Veon Bell. doesn't play, then Antonio Brown's value goes through the roof. And then Keenan Allen, I do believe, will outperform Brandon Cooks, especially in PPR. My only saving grace in Antonio Brown and Keenan Allen is the fact that it is PPR. So they should be monsters all year. Positional ranking 1 and 3, respectively. So could have been worse. And then I have Trey Burton against the Green Bay Packers. I'm starting. Oh my God, what the fuck was I thinking? Apparently, I'm going to start 2 Chicago Bears. Will that become a regret? No regrets. I'm doing it. And then he's got Travis Kelce. I don't know. They're running against the Chargers. Chargers have good secondary. Scratch that. Great secondary. But Chicago is going to have to score to be competitive. I do believe, even though they have Khalil Mack and they have a solid defense, I don't think Aaron Rodgers cares, especially home opener in Green Bay. I think it'll be okay. And then what the heck is this? A defense and a kicker? What? I somehow got the Broncos defense the second to last round. Nobody wants the Broncos because they got rid of, who they got rid of? Aqib Talib? But they still have a really good defense. They got Chubb, Von Miller. They'll get sacks. Those are points. And they play Seattle. Offensive line looked pretty good in the preseason, but it was the preseason. And the game is at home opener for the Broncos. I think it'll be okay. My opponent has the Kansas City Chiefs defense, and if you watched any second of the preseason, granted you can't put all your weight in the preseason, but the Chiefs did doo-doo in the preseason. You like how I'm looking on the side so that you all can see that beautiful, beautiful pimple? You're welcome. And then somehow, nobody wanted Mason Crosby in any of my of the leagues where I drafted a kicker. Mason Crosby was always there last round. Maybe because he only had 78 points last season, but maybe that was because Brett Hundley fucking sucks. And he got the boot because he sucks. So I got Mason Crosby. His kicker is... Oh my God. Maybe you guys saw this before me, but he has free agent Dan Bailey. Oh, let me see if he has a... Oh, yeah. I mean, not that it matters. You can pick up an extremely kicker, but that's too funny. That's probably the only reason why I'm slated to win. Let's see. Kickers available on the waiver wire. Nobody to write home about. McManus might actually be good. But that's about it. Yeah. Anyways. So, that's that. Oh, and like I said before, I had a bad feeling about Jerick McKinnon. It's a weird angle. Why does my head look so small and my body look so big? I should do on my videos like this. A tiny head, big body. Big head. Tiny head. Sidetrack, sorry. What was I saying? Jerick McKinnon, out for the year. ACL. Sucks for him. Sucks for the 49ers. But it's good for, I believe, Alfred Morris. Even though they say Matt Breida's going to start. But what's a start got to do with it? I don't know. You could delete that. But my money's still on long-term Alfred Morris. And then I feel like somebody else got hurt. No, just the left bell says I don't want to play football. He wants to screw himself over. I don't know. Set a real good example for that free agent market next year. Hey guys, pick me up. Sign me to the best contract ever. I'll play, I promise. I don't know. But that's that. So, Falcons will win. Will win. 100% fact. Go to Vegas. Bet $1,000. Don't do that. Don't gamble. Unless it's fantasy football. Then it's not a gamble. So we will see how I do. I will, if I make any changes, I will do another video to discuss my changes. But But outside of that, I'm also going to tomorrow discuss my rankings for the week, and I'm going to I already have who I believe was going to pick my pick'ems for the week. I kind of already blew the headline that I do believe the Browns will beat the Steelers. The Browns will beat the Steelers. That said, I'm out of here. See ya.